Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. The Red Devils are travelling to scare the Saints at the scene of St Mary's Stadium with this lunchtime kickoff starting game week 4 in the Premier League season. It's been a mixed bag to start the season off for Southampton. After their first 3 games, they have won, drawn and lost, with their first win coming in the last game against Leicester, with Che Adams coming off the bench to bag a brace in the second half to secure the 3 points for Hasenhüttl's men. For Ten Hag's side, the honeymoon period was cancelled very quickly as the season started with a home loss to Brighton and then an embarrassment a week later to Brentford. But a heroic performance against Liverpool, which also got United their first win. But after a heroic performance against Liverpool, which also got United their first win, things could be on the up for Manchester United. So for the 47th Premier League game between these two teams, will it be the Seaside hosting Southampton or the travelling Reds in Manchester United to pick up back-to-back wins for the first time in this new Premier League season? Like I say, both teams coming into this game with positive energy, positive mindsets. They've both won their last game. It was both their first wins of the season. Obviously, Southampton away at Leicester, Manchester United at home to Liverpool. So it's a really interesting fixture, this, to see who really uses that momentum of a first win to bounce back and go again and get another win and try and get up this Premier League table at the early stages of the season. I'll go through lineups in a minute. We've got kickoff just under 9 minutes away. If you are in here, make sure you like and subscribe. Put some score predictions as well in the chat, as I will go through lineups. Big news. If you look at the Manchester United bench, I'm not going to say it, but you could have a look at who's made the bench for Manchester United to face Southampton at St Mary's today. But I will go through the lineups now before we head towards kickoff, and we'll start with the home side. So we have got new signing Gavin Bazunu in net, signed for £12 million from Manchester City. Right back is Kyle Walker-Peters, who joined back in the August 2020 after a loan spell the season before from January to the end of that season. New signing as well, centre-back Armel Bella Kochap plays at the back. The German 6'3" defender joined this summer for £8.6 million from Bochum in Germany. And then Mohamed Salisu is playing alongside the new centre-half, the Ghanaian international, who's making his 50th Premier League appearance today. And then a makeshift left-back's having to come in as well, Musa Gineppo, usually a winger, but he's had to play left-back in the last game against Leicester to cover for their injured left-back of Romain Perraud, who is on the bench. He's returning, but not fit enough to start. Two holding midfielders of James Ward-Prowse, the captain, has been at the club since the age of 9. He plays alongside new signing as well, Manchester City youngster Romeo Lavia, the Belgian international, has got a lot of high praise since joining. He's only 18 and he's played every single minute in the Premier League so far this season. And another new signing makes the starting 11. It's Joe Aribo, signed from Rangers, the man who scored in that Europa League final last season. And on the left is Adam Armstrong, came with high hopes, signing for £15 million last summer from Blackburn. He's not quite got going as he would have liked, only managed to bag the 2 Premier League goals last season, but with some more game time, he'll hope to add to that tally and better that this season. In behind the striker is Mohamed El Yunusi. He signed from Basel in 2018 and had a loan spell at Celtic 2 seasons ago. And the main man up front, the man in the headlines currently so far for Southampton, is Che Adams. He scored 2 last week against Leicester in their 2-1 win, and he also scored 2 goals in the EFL Cup second round against Cambridge away from home. It's his 99th Premier League appearance, closing up towards 100, and he will lead the line for Southampton in this lunchtime kickoff. Their bench is Alex McCarthy, Jan Valery, Lianco, Jan Bednarek, Romain Perraud, Oriol Romeu, Ibrahima Diallo, Stuart Armstrong and Sekou Mara. Another new signing signed for £11 million from Bordeaux. He's only at the age of 20. So as you can see, a lot of youth is being brought in with these signings that Ralph Hasenhüttl's made. It's a promising looking team. And I think once they've gelled and they all gain more experience, I think it'll be a really exciting team to watch in the Premier League, Southampton. And they've got to face Manchester United, whose lineup comes out as this. It is completely unchanged from the Liverpool game. David De Gea starts in net, who is currently going into his 12th Premier League season as a Manchester United footballer. Diego Dalot is at right back, playing alongside Rafael Varane, who had a fantastic game against Liverpool and secured his first 90 minutes, full 90-minute game in the season. Lisandro Martinez also comes in, £57 million signing from Ajax. It looks like Manchester United could be giving more money to Ajax when they try and bring in the winger Antony. And then they've got Tyrell Malacia, also signed from the Dutch League, played a fantastic debut against Liverpool, where he got his first start for Manchester United competitively. Two holding midfielders of Scott McTominay, who could be needing a big performance with Casemiro coming in from Manchester United. He plays alongside Christian Eriksen, who also looks like he'll be playing a deeper role in today's game. Jadon Sancho on the right wing scored his first goal of the season, coming against Liverpool. He started all 4 Premier League games so far, including today. Bruno Fernandes will play in behind the striker with Anthony Elanga on the left to support. And it looks like the main man up front is going to be Marcus Rashford, who also scored a goal against Liverpool to win the game, to make it 2-0 at the time. He plays up front. He's got a contract running up till the end of this year, but with an extra year as an option if they want to extend his contract. He's had interest from PSG during the summer, but he's currently still a Manchester United player, and he starts up top for the Red Devils as the teams come out onto the field. Southampton in their red and white home strip, and then Manchester United in there. As you can see, the colour on the screen, it's like a limey green away strip. And United's bench is Tom Heaton as the backup goalkeeper. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's on the bench. He's been linked to a move back to Crystal Palace. Captain Harry Maguire's on the bench for the second game in a row. Luke Shaw, who's formerly of Southampton for 11 years of his career from the age of 8 to 19. Fred sits alongside Brazilian teammate and new signing Casemiro, who makes the bench, signed for £60 million last week. He makes the bench. Will we see him get some minutes? We'll have to wait and see. Donny van de Beek, formerly of Ajax, plays. He's featured in every single game so far this season, all coming off the bench later on in matches. Alejandro Garnacho, the Argentine winger, is also on the bench, joined from Atletico Madrid back in October 2020, and he sits alongside the main man, the 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, again benched for the second game in a row. He did come on against Liverpool late on, but again he'll have to wait for minutes off the bench against Southampton in today's game. That's the team news. Kick-off just under 3 minutes away. Make sure you like and subscribe. Get score predictions in the chat if you've got one. It's going to be a really interesting game. Like I said before, both teams coming into this one off the back of their first wins of the season. Obviously, with Southampton, which is interesting as well, is that that their results have got progressively better. So they started off with a loss away at Tottenham on the first day of the first weekend of the season, and then they welcomed Leeds to St Mary's, went 2-0 down, but then secured a 2-2 draw coming from behind, and then again coming from behind against Leicester, but this time securing a win. So they are projecting upwards in terms of form and results. Can they keep that momentum going with another win? It's a hard task. United are going to have some momentum off the back of a big win against Liverpool, their massive rivals. But they've definitely got the quality. They've got a lot of youngsters, so they've got to adapt quick to these big occasions. There's a lot of experience in this Manchester United team, like of Marcus Rashford. He's only 24, but bags of Premier League experience. It's his 208th match in the Premier League in his career, already bagging 60 goals. So they've got him to deal with. But there he is, Ralph Hasenhüttl, the manager, 55 years of age, the Austrian. Yet to beat Manchester United as a manager. It's his 8th attempt. Obviously, he's had a really bad experience against Manchester United at Old Trafford. You remember a couple of seasons ago when they were beaten 9-0, like they were against Leicester. So he'll be hoping that does not happen again, as we are closing in on kick-off here. If you are here, make sure you like, subscribe. Right on the coast here at Southampton, right by the seaside. And hopefully we'll have an end-to-end game today. So referee is Andy Madley. On VAR, we've got Peter Banks, and as an assistant VAR, we've got Derek Eaton. Hopefully, we'll have no VAR controversy today. Southampton's kick-off, kicking left to right. Manchester United right to left, attacking towards their away support to our left-hand side as I look. Waiting for the referee's whistle as we get underway here. Andy Madley kicking it, getting us kicked off. There's a long ball for Southampton. It's gone all the way into the United box where Martinez has had to clear with the left boot, and it falls for a Southampton throw-in. So Walker Peters with a throw-in deep inside the United half as early pressure's been put on to the Red Devils. Walker Peters gets the return from the throw-in, clears it down the line where Malacia will have to try and deal with it. Can't do so very well. He only heads out for a throw-in for Southampton. It's crazy, isn't it? They stay quiet right before kick-off, and then as soon as they kick off, it's like they know. So it's like it's going to line up for a long throw-in here. I'll be interested to see how United deal with this because, you know, aerially, I know they've had a good win against Liverpool, but against Brentford, they struggled massively with aerial balls, and there goes the long throw from Mohamed Salisu. In it goes, headed one by McTominay, only as far as a Rebo in the box, back to goal. It's played back to the throwing taker of Salisu, gets a first time cross in towards the far post. No one really in attacking it for Southampton. Easy catch for De Gea as he throws it out quickly towards the right hand side to Anthony Elanga, tackled strongly by James Ward-Prowse, and he concedes the throw-in for his side. Southampton asking for the throw-in themselves as they thought Elanga had run it out of play, but the ball had been kept in, and Ward-Prowse, the Southampton captain, clattered into Elanga to concede the throw-in, and after a bit of a shaky first minute and a half, United are now finally, for the first time, on the ball with their new signing at the back, Lisandro Martinez from Ajax. Long ball over the top from Manchester United. It's poor. They've got to be keeping possession better than that. Jadon Sancho was never chasing that one, and it falls all the way through to Gavin Bazunu in the Southampton goal. Like I say, signed from Manchester City for £12 million. Spent last season on loan at Portsmouth in League One, who are Southampton's rivals, as his long kick gets lost in the Southampton attack, and United can clear, but it's misplaced, not towards a United player, and it'll be a throw-in for Southampton. But United are currently on a run of 7 away Premier League losses. They lost their last 6 Premier League games away from home last season. Then they've obviously got beaten to Brentford as well. So they could be making 8 losses in a row if they don't sort it out today. As the ball breaks to Fernandes. Plays it out wide left to Jadon Sancho. He's got a bit of space to run into here on the left-hand side. 1-on-1 with Walker Peters. Around the final third area. Goes across. Good ball. Finds Fernandes. He's got the overlap of Diogo Dalot. He finds the full-back. Goes back to Fernandes as many Southampton players find themselves behind the ball. Now Eriksson around 25 yards out. Sprays it wide right to Diogo Dalot. On his weaker left foot, tries the cross. It's blocked. Well, as far as Varane, who works it back out to Dalot, the Portuguese full-back. Who goes to Portuguese teammate Bruno Fernandes. 1-on-1 with Gineppo. Makeshift left-back. And he prods the ball away from Fernandes for a Manchester United throw-in. Good defending from the Mali international. Like I say, Moussa Gineppo, usually a winger, but he's having to put a shift in at left-back, as they're currently short on left-backs. Southampton, their usual left-back Romain Perraud is on the bench after returning from injury, as he's missed the last 3 games, no competitions through injury. But United still on it. Dalot inside to Christian Eriksen, back out, great ball to Rashford. Got a bit of room to try and find a cross, blocked by Lavia, and cleared in the end by Adam Armstrong. As far as Lisandro Martinez, the Argentine, picked up 7 Argentinian national team appearances since 2019, which was the year of his debut. Varane over the top, looking in behind for Anthony Elanga, but it's Gavin Bazunu who comes out and heads it behind for a throw-in. He just had to adventure outside of his 18-yard box. And it'll be Diogo Dalot to come over and take the throw-in. Looking for some movement. He's got movement from McTominay, but he throws it instead to the head of Fernandes, who nods it towards Rashford, cleared by Salisu in the Southampton area. Be given chase by Che Adams, but it's Martinez to head it forward to Eriksen, back to Varane, who forces it to David De Gea. Interesting record for David De Gea against Southampton. 8 wins and 8 draws in 18 games against the Saints. It's a bit of a mixed record for the Spanish goalkeeper now at the age of 31. It's Fernandes. Loses out to Gineppo. It's now Lavia. Goes back to Bazunu in the Southampton goal. Pressed by Rashford, but he's able to clear the ball upfield towards the right-hand side where Adam Armstrong will battle with Malacia for the ball, and the Englishman comes out with it and turns Malacia very well. Good turn from Adam Armstrong. He's got a ball to his right to Walker Peters. Bit of a weak pass, and it is cut out by Malacia. Good recovery from the Dutch left-back as United look to get forward. Great ball inside from Eriksen to Fernandes. He's got a lot of green grass to run into here. He's got options left and right. Goes to his left towards Sancho. Great interception by Bella Kotchap. And he works it to Kyle Walker Peters, who's clattered into by Tyrell Malacia. It's a good, positive, lively first 6 minutes of this match. Both teams looking to attack. Great turn there by Adam Armstrong on Malacia moments before, even though he lost the ball through a poor pass of his own. So it was, good creativity, the way he kind of dipped the shoulder, looking like he was going to go backwards, then went forwards instead as Bazunu clears it down that right-hand side, where Che Adams will get there right on the corner flag. Tries to kick it towards the United box, but it's intercepted by Eriksen. Goes across to Varane. Clearance up the field towards the right to Alanga, who just flick it on, trying to get beyond moves to Gineppo, but he can't quite do so, and it'll be a throw-in for the Saints, just inside the Manchester United half, with Moussa Gineppo, who's got the 1 year left on his contract, the 24-year-old. He's got a 50% losing record in the Premier League, Moussa Gineppo. He's played 60 Premier League fixtures and he's lost 30 of them. Ball cleared up by Manchester United as far as Lavia. Bella Kotchap. Salisu. His clearance. He falls to Lavia in the end. Bit of a heavy touch, and he loses out in the midfield to Bruno Fernandes, who sees Bazunu off his goal line and he tries to go for it. But he was well back on his line before any danger could be sourced from that attempt from Bruno Fernandes. Will take quite something to beat Gavin Bazunu from there, the 6'2" Irishman, who's already picked up 10 appearances for his country, made his debut in the March of 2021. Varane with the header, helped on by Eriksen up towards Alanga. He'll find Rashford, heads it inside to Alanga. He's met by the challenge of Lavia, and he concedes the foul, the young Belgian. He definitely felt that, the Swede of Anthony Alanga, who got the assist against Liverpool last week, even though he got dragged off at half-time. Conceded the foul there. Romeo Lavia, with Jadon Sancho on the left-hand side from the free kick. 1-on-1 with Kyle Walker Peters in the final third. Has to play it back towards Malacia. He's got a bit of time on the ball. Plays it to Eriksen. Cross to Varane. Stride forward with the ball. Spray it to the right-hand side to Alanga. He fancies chances against Gineppo. Tries to go on the inside. Brought down. No foul, says the referee. And Southampton look to break. Ward-Prowse puts it into the space for Kyle Walker Peters to latch onto. He enters the Manchester United half. He's got Eriksen coming over to cover Malacia and try and stop Walker Peters getting forward. He plays down the line to El Yunusi. Can't quite play the pass away from Malacia. And it's well won back by the full-back again, but he gives it away in the box to Aribo. Can he get beyond McTominay? He can. Aribo on the right, tries to pull it back. And it's a goal kick because as he pulled it back, I think it came off McTominay, then back off Aribo for the goal kick. Okay, positive start for both sides. El Yunusi just gets shrugged off the ball there by Malacia. And as he tried to play the ball inside, it went straight to Aribo. McTominay falling asleep. And Aribo got past McTominay, pulled it back. It actually came off the foot of Varane, then back off Aribo for the throw-in. As for the goal kick, but as they've played out from the back, Manchester United, they've lost it with a throw-in here for Southampton, quite deep inside the United half as well. That is quite a decent bench, isn't it? Fred, Casemiro, Ronaldo, Van der Beek. You've seen worse Premier League benches. But he won't be liking this, Cristiano Ronaldo. We know that for sure. Scoring 18 Premier League goals last season, 24 in all competitions. He scored in every Champions League group stage game he played in. Salisu with another long throw-in. It's a header won by Manchester United Only as far as the edge of the box to Ward-Prowse. Helps it back in. Header won by Varane. Nodded down by Bella Kotchap. Aribo to El Yunusi. Strike is blocked by Malacia, and there could be a break on here with Jadon Sancho bursting away. He's being chased down by James Ward-Prowse. Sancho will just slow down as he still tries to take on the English central midfielder. Oh, he does nicely. Great footwork by Sancho. Getting towards the byline on the left-hand side. Just slows it down. Brings Malacia into play. Inside to Scott McTominay, who will look forward. Fernandes across to Ericsson. He likes a long shot, but instead tries to go on the right to Dalot. The Portuguese man will get there, beats Gineppo, tries to get the ball across. Too high for Fernandes, and it will go to the other opposite side for a throw-in, but it's applauded by Manchester United captain Fernandes. It was well worked by Ericsson to get it to Dalot. He had to battle Gineppo to get there first, and he got the cross in. Oh, just too high for Fernandes. He would have had an easy header from around 3 yards out. Yeah, just too high for Fernandes. Maybe if Ronaldo was on the pitch, maybe he would have got there, but Southampton gets away with that, and they have a throw-in on their right-hand side. As we're under 11 minutes into the game. Manchester United probably in the better side in terms of creating chances, getting further towards the Southampton goal, but Southampton have been able to get forward themselves as Gineppo breaks away with it on the left, gets away from Elanga and gets taken out by Diogo Dalot towards the halfway line, and that'll be a free kick for Southampton given away by Dalot. Got some difficult fixtures as well coming up, Southampton, after this. They've got Chelsea at home in midweek on the 30th of August, and they've got Wolves away, and they've got Brentford at home. Difficult games then, because obviously we know Wolves are desperately looking for some victories under Bruno Lage. Chelsea's just never easy. And then Brentford at home, we know what Brentford can do against big teams like Manchester United. It's a long ball over the top. Great interception by Bella Kotchap, but it only falls for Sancho. Tries to get beyond the centre half with a big touch, but he can't do so. The number 37 for Southampton deals with it nicely. Actually, the ball was played in behind there by Ericsson, and with an outstretched leg, Bella Kotchap, the centre-back, was able to intercept very nicely and then also take it away from Sancho a second time. We've got to be careful with that. They have got pace up front, Manchester United, with the likes of Marcus Rashford and Elanga and Jadon Sancho. But it does look like the two Southampton centre-halves are young and athletic as well, who could deal with that pace. But they can't be making too many mistakes, because if Rashford gains a yard or two on you, he's usually sent away on his tracks and you can't usually catch him. Back to goal is El Yunusi. Gets it to Walker-Peters on the right in the final third. He's got El Yunusi on the right to support him. He finds him. He crosses. He falls towards Adam Armstrong, who heads it towards goal. Don't think he expected it to drop onto his head, so he didn't really head the ball. It kind of just bounced off his head as the ball came in from El Yunusi. It was a good curling ball, and it looked like Che Adams was going to win the header. He was barged to the ground, and instead it just dropped onto the head of Armstrong, and it was a weak one, and it was easily caught by David De Gea. He clears it long, and it's just wasteful possession there from Manchester United, clearing it towards the left-hand side. And it went straight through to Gavin Bazunu in the Southampton goal. It's a big step up for Bazunu. I know I said before that he was on loan at Portsmouth in League One last season, but the season before that he was in League One as well with Rochdale. It's a big step up from 2 seasons in League One to then being a number one at a Premier League side. And here he is on the ball again as the ball returns to him after a clearance up the field. United were able to deal with it. Salisu, good ball to left back. Gineppo's just on the halfway line here. Plays to Romeo Lavia, the number 45 for Southampton. Back to Gineppo. Plays it safe, going back to Mohamed Salisu. Can also play left back, making his 50th appearance, Salisu, but in his previous 49 he's only been able to pick up 12 Premier League victories. Bazunu again, a long clearance up the field, header won by McTominay, goes towards Romeo Lavia, who just helps it to the right hand side to Kyle Walker-Peters, tries to burst past Sancho, but checks back and finds James Ward-Prowse. Remember in the last summer he was very unfortunate to not make the England Euro squad. James Ward-Prowse, we know how good he is at set pieces. Ball towards Adam Armstrong on the left. It breaks to him. Dalot needs to try and stop him in his tracks here, but he allows him to get the cross in here. Armstrong. It's header won by Martinez. Looks far as Ward-Prowse. He nods it to Walker-Peters on the right side of the box. back into Ward-Prowse. Crosses it in. Dangerous ball. Header won by Varane to the edge of the 18-yard box, where Lavia nods it out to Ward-Prowse, then nods it himself back to Bella Kochap. He's now with his centre-back partner, Salisu, on the halfway. On the far left-hand side, chops past Rashford. Very good composed play there by the centre-half. It's now Salisu again. Forward to Gineppo. Great ball out to the left-back, who is usually a winger, so he will fancy his one-on-one battles with Alanga and Dalot. But he finds Adam Armstrong, edge of the box, plays it into Aribo. Heavy touch can be cleared by Varane up to Fernandes. Flicks it towards Rashford, header won by Salisu, as far as Fernandes again, whose ball has gone waywards, but I think there was a hand in there. It's a free kick to Manchester United. So 15 minutes in, strong starts from both sides. Both teams are confident they can get something from this game. There is Erik ten Hag, 52 years of age. He's a centre-half himself, back in his day when he was 6 foot. So a little bit taller than his new centre-back, Lisandro Martinez. Here he is, Martinez on the ball. Left-footed centre-half. Gets it to Malacia in the United half here, as they're getting pressed here by Che Adams. Long ball by Martinez, up towards Rashford. Header won by Salisu. Can't be kept in by El Yunusi on the Southampton right, so it'll be a throw-in for United on their left. With Tyrell Malacia, who did play in the Europa Conference final last season, where his final team were beaten to Roma. Eriksen, what a switch that is to Alanga on the right-hand side. Getting into the Southampton half. He's got the overlap of Fernandes, but instead he tries to go across towards Sancho, who nearly gets the touch ahead of Walker-Peters. But Walker-Peters wins it and clears it for another United throw-in. Well dealt with by the right-back, who I've read has drawn interest from Arsenal, which is interesting, because obviously he's formerly of Tottenham, Kyle Walker-Peters. He's also yet to win against Manchester United in his career. But he was injured for the 9-0 defeat a couple of seasons ago, so at least he didn't have to endure that personally, but obviously I'm sure his teammates felt that one for sure. Lavia wins it in midfield. Forward to El Yunusi, touch towards Che Adams. Not quite directed right at the striker, so it can fall through to Lisandro Martinez at the back. Southampton have brought in 6 new signings for just over £50 million combined. And they all average an age of just over 21, so you can see the youth that Ralph Hasenhüttl is trying to bring in, the former RB Leipzig manager. So now with Rafael Varane at the back for Manchester United. 18 trophies he won while he was at Real Madrid, the Lille-born centre-half. So I think for the first time in the game, United are really enjoying a decent period of possession on the ball. Both teams have been, being able to get on the ball and try and work their attacking machine. It's a ball towards the feet of Alanga. It's gone beyond him and he was brought down, but the referee didn't see it as a foul. So it's possession back into the feet of Southampton as Bazunu clears up the field towards Che Adams, loses out to Varane. As far as Ward-Prowse, McTominay, Eriksen nods it down to Alanga. Tries to kick it, I think, forward, but it ends up going backwards, and El Yunusi can head it forward towards Che Adams, but it's cleared by Martinez, where that can be cleared back forward by Bella Kochap, but it falls to Eriksen on the left-hand side towards the halfway line. Restarts with Malacia, then gets it forward to Rashford, who's peeled wide left. That means Sancho will take a more central position here, as it's Rashford. Puts the switch out wide right to Diogo Dalot, getting the full-back involved in the attack. He now uses Alanga. Back to Dalot on the edge of the 18-yard box. He'll go for a cross in towards Fernandes. All the way across to Alanga. Big save by Bazunu. He's still alive. Fernandes shot. Eriksen saved. McTominay falls to Fernandes. How has that not gone in? Still on the edge of the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. Fernandes takes on El Yunusi. Tries to get the pull across goal. Blocked by Ward-Prowse. And how on earth is United not got a goal there? So much happened. So Dalot got the cross into the box towards Fernandes, whose header was missed, and it came off Kyle Walker-Peters. That fell across to Alanga, whose shot was superbly saved by Bazunu, and then it came out to Eriksen, whose shot was blocked superbly by Bella Kotchap, what a save that is off the line. And then in the end it trickled out. Like I say, Elanga's shot, what a save by Bazunu. And then it came across goal where Fernandes had a swipe as well. Everyone had a go for United, but none of them were able to put it in the back of the net. Southampton somehow survive. And under 20 minutes in, it's still Southampton 0, United 0. We've got a United corner. In it goes. Header 1, and it falls easily into the hands of Bazunu. And Southampton can really breathe now. How on earth did that not end up in the back of the net? So Fernandes had a swing, Elanga had a swing, Eriksen had a shot. But some superb blocking and goalkeeping and defending means that United still have to wait for that first away goal of the season. Remember, their only away game so far was Brentford away, and that was a catastrophe. That was a 4-0 defeat where they conceded all 4 of their goals in the first 35 minutes, with De Silva, Jensen, me and Mbeumo also all scoring in that game. Che Adams finally wins a header on Varane, but it only falls far as McTominay, whose pass is misplaced towards Fernandes. It's picked up by Lavia. It's now Ward-Prowse on halfway. Forward it goes towards Mohamed El Yunusi, the Norwegian international. Now Walker-Peters, who blocked Eriksen's shot off the line moments ago. Ward-Prowse dinks it forward to Aribo, tries to play it inside to El Yunusi. It does find the former Celtic man. It's now back to Aribo on the right, who's formerly of Rangers. Plays it into the space for Kyle Walker-Peters. Tries to take on Martinez. Keeps it alive. For now, when he pokes it, only as far as Sancho, who's looking for El Yunusi. But pressure from Martinez meant he lost the ball. But United can't clear. Trying to play it back to Malacia. And El Yunusi breaks with it. But it's a strong tackle from Malacia to kick it out for a throw-in. I would say this is very 50-50 so far. Like Southampton really, holding their own. They've got some quality young players in their side. Yes, they probably should be 1-0 down because United somehow didn't score 2 or 3 minutes ago. But a throw-in, and United are probably going to not want to concede many of these because we've seen about 2 or 3 of these throw-ins have been long throw-ins into the box, and although none of them have really materialised into anything, doesn't mean this one can't. They've obviously got, set pieces that the plans they'll have for these throw-ins, and they will throw it. Bella Kotchap wins it with a flick on. Cleared by Manchester United, as far as Lavia on the edge of the 18-yard box. Plays back into Salisu, the throwing taker. It's a great kill ball in towards the far post, and it goes beyond everyone. And even though El Yunusi was coming in towards the back post there, it already travelled too far where it was out of pitch, and United win the goal kick. But like I say, that throw-in was won by Bella Kotchap, helped away by Fernandes, and then it was put back to the throwing taker where he was able to swing the ball in. It was perfectly put in, and just as someone had committed there properly instead of a late run at the far post, Southampton could have had a chance at goal. But interesting stat I found is United lost 4 of their last 6 league games at Southampton's old stadium, the Dell. But since playing at this new Southampton ground, St Mary's, they've only lost once in 14 league visits here. So didn't have the best of luck at Southampton's old stadium late on at the life of that stadium, but as soon as they've come to this new ground, they've got great success here. Manchester United, like I said, they have just got a great record in general against Southampton. Currently, they're unbeaten in 13 games against Southampton in all competitions. 12 of them in the Premier League. Eriksen on the left-hand side, plays it forward to Jadon Sancho. McTominay. Every Southampton man behind the ball now. As they get it forward through Martinez into Jadon Sancho. Plays it into the box to Eriksen, who looks for the pull back. It's blocked by Ward-Prowse. Another corner for Manchester United. You're going to do more range commentaries? 100%. Because if you've seen their Champions League group, Rangers have got an unbelievable Champions League group stage draw. They've got Liverpool, Napoli and Ajax. That is a ridiculous draw. 4 clubs full of history, full of culture. And there'll be some fantastic games. So 100% more Rangers commentaries as Eriksen swings this instant towards the far post when McTominay doesn't win the header. But the clearance goes to Fernandes, tries to play it back in the box, cleared by James Ward-Prowse. Only as far as Fernandes, he tries to swing it back in, but it's blocked by Adam Armstrong. And it'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. Just under 25 minutes into this game. We are still deadlocked at 0-0, but Manchester United had a good chance around 5 minutes ago where seems like every single one of their forwards had a bite at the cherry of trying to score, but the red wall of Southampton were able to keep it out. Tyrell Malacia out wide to Sancho, forward to Eriksen. Sancho making a run beyond him. You can't find him though because he looks for Rashford instead, but he bobbles back towards Eriksen, cleared by Southampton, only as far as Malacia in the Southampton half. He's being forced back towards his own half here, where he plays it to Varane. He goes all the way back to De Gea. Great pressing from Southampton. Tyrell Malacia get himself in a bit of a sticky situation there, being forced all the way back towards their own half. Dalot forward on the halfway to Fernandes, who dummies it to Rashford, then zips it out towards Eriksen, but just too much on it for Marcus Rashford, and Eriksen will have to let the ball go for a Southampton throw-in. Thrown with Gineppo down the line. Header won by McTominay. Falls to Fernandes, who nods it towards Elanga. Loses out to Joe Rebo, and that'll be a Southampton throw-in once again. And it will be taken by Moussa Gineppo. But Southampton's last win against Manchester United in the Premier League was January of 2016. It was a 1-0 win late on at Old Trafford. Charlie Austin was the man who won it in the 87th minute. And the only players from that matchday squad at United who are still here are David De Gea and Anthony Martial. So even though it was only 2016, which I say only 2016, that is 6 years ago, from that matchday squad, only 2 players are still around at the club. Obviously, Martial not in today's squad due to injury, even though he was thrown into the fold against Liverpool for 45 minutes, where he was the man who assisted Marcus Rashford's goal. Fernandes heads it towards Rashford, won nicely by Salisu, and he volleys it forward up towards Che Adams, another header won by Varane. Now Rashford to Malacia, lays it into Eriksen. Sancho can play it out to Malacia. Good play here from Manchester United as they go down the left-hand side. Ball forward into the path of Sancho. Too much on it, and Bella Kotchap can win the free kick there as he was pulled down by Sancho as he won the ball off the Englishman. And Sancho helps him back to his feet. No complaints there from the former Borussia Dortmund winger who pulled down Bella Kotchap. He's been very good, Armel Bella Kotchap, the new signing from Bochum in Germany. He represents Germany's under-21s, despite being born in Paris. He does represent Germany at international level. Bazunu with the free kick up towards Che Adams. Won by Martinez. It's now Fernandes out towards Sancho. Heavy touch. Southampton throwing. With Kyle Walker-Peters. Played a majority of the last season at left-back. And that shows how spare they are at left-back. Southampton still are this season. But he's back at right-back now on his natural side. And his throwing is now fell to Joe Aribo on the edge of the box. He's got multiple United players around him, but he works it to El Yunusi on the right-hand side. Goes back to Walker-Peters. They are deep into the United half here. It's Ward-Prowse. Ball lifted up towards Aribo, who will hold it up. And he keeps it alive. Great play from Aribo. Walker-Peters. Aribo again. On the right-hand side, he was looking towards the box. But he lays it off to Ward-Prowse, who then puts the ball in. Header won by McTominay. As far as Ward-Prowse, who helps it back in towards the box. Well, Yunusi loses that to Martinez. As far as Walker-Peters, Ward-Prowse out to Aribo. El Yunusi, they've got to do something with this Southampton. A cross goes in towards the far post where Che Adams rises the highest and his header's won. But it hits the top of the net. Goal kick for Manchester United. It was well won in the air there by Southampton. Because in terms of duels, Che Adams has struggled a lot this first 28 minutes. He's not really had much success against Varane or Martinez. If that's aerially or with the feet, balls going into feet and he's been beaten to it. So he will feel frustrated, Che Adams, because he is in good goal-scoring form. Scored 2 goals last week against Leicester in their win. And then 2 goals in midweek against Cambridge in the League Cup. So he's got confidence, the Southampton forward man. But it's Jadon Sancho on the left, who's got confidence of his own with a goal against Liverpool last week. It was very well taken as well. You might remember seeing James Milner getting sat down. And then Virgil van Dijk decided to do his own rendition of an Oasis song, looking like Liam Gallagher there. If you've seen the memes, you'll understand it's very fun. I don't know what Van Dijk was doing, but you can't take away anything from the Sancho goal as Southampton look to counter here with Gineppo looking for Che Adams. It's another interception by Martinez. but his clearance only falls as far as Ward-Prowse as he wins it away from Fernandes, and he plays into space to Walker-Peters, who gets the cross in, headed won by Martinez. It's a Southampton corner. Obviously, there's always going to be doubts when a 5'9" centre-half joins the Premier League, but like I say, against Che Adams, he's winning a lot of his battles, and this time, even though he was unchallenged, he was still able to head away from Che Adams, who was entering the box. Half an hour in. We're still at 0-0, but this is a good chance for Southampton to score because they've got a lot of height in this box with the likes of their two centre-halves in Salisu and Bella Kotchap, and they've also got Aribo as well, who's the height of 6 foot. No one else will be taking this other than Ward-Prowse. Outswinging ball in towards the far post. A touch can be made by the centre-half, and he blazes it over. And that's why he's a centre-half. Bella Kotchap at the far post was able to bring the ball down and prod towards goal, and he skies it over the bar. He was left unmarked. He was able to bring it down. The touch was a bit heavy, so he was stretching for it when he had to try and strike. And as he stretched for it with his left foot, he got under the ball, and well over the bar it went. But that's the problem with zonal players like Bella Kotchap. He's 6'3". You can't be letting him unmarked in the box. And as he kind of unexpectedly brought the ball down quite nicely, obviously it was a little bit heavy, the touch. He was then scrambling for it, and he, like I say, didn't have the striker's instinct to really get the ball in the back of the net, put it over instead. But alarm bells for United in terms of defending corners. You can't be letting someone like that unmarked, as they're going to be attacked at again here with Adam Armstrong coming away with it on the Southampton left, in the box, pulls it back towards Chadams, gets the touch ahead of Martinez and strikes. But it's saved by Deo. It was right at the Spaniard, who's no longer in the Spanish national side. His last appearance for his country was back in 2020. Broke away there on the left, Adam Armstrong. Cut it back towards Adams, who got the touch ahead of Martinez, and then struck towards goal, but it was straight down the throat of David De Gea, who is looking for his first clean sheets of this Premier League season. Rashford bullied off the ball by Salisu. Now Gineppo taking on McTominay. Forward ball to Chadams, lays it towards Aribo. Prodded away by Dalot, going as far as Lavia. Southampton back in possession, working it nicely to the left to Adam Armstrong. He sees a switch with his left foot, and what a ball that is. Straight to Walker-Peters. Tackled by Sancho, and the ball drops to Fernandes, who curls it wide left to Sancho again, as they could be on for an attack of their own here, United. Not got much support that way, Sancho, but with his silky skill moves, he's getting nearly beyond all of them, but then he runs out of pitch on the left. And now we're throwing for Southampton. Got to feel sorry for Jadon Sancho there. He did some great skill to try and get beyond the players, but when you run out of pitch and you're getting chased down by 3 opposition players, you know, you're thinking at that point you might need a little bit of support. Long ball goes up towards Chadams, again loses out to Martinez, but Varane plays it to De Gea with a bobbling ball, and it's a clearance that's pretty decent in the end by De Gea. Reaches the halfway line, but the header's won by Ward-Prowse, and it falls to Aribo, who's battling with McTominay, but he loses that in the end as Eriksen came over to help. It's now fell to Malacia. Sancho back towards Christian Eriksen in the United half. We know he can find any pass he wants, but he just lays it into Eriksen, into Martinez, who gets it then back into Eriksen, who did win the Serie A title with Inter Milan. He was at the club for a good 18 months, the Dane, before being released due to his health conditions. And Rashford's chased onto his own pass here on the byline on the left. He was looking for Sancho, who was well offside. So he chased his own pass and he kept it alive. It's now with Malacia. Eriksen tries to drill it in towards the box, but it's a good catch there by Bazunu. Poor from Eriksen. Didn't get anywhere near any United players there, really, from Eriksen, who picked up 4 assists in the Premier League last season in the 11 games he played for Brentford. He also scored as well in a 4-1 away win at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, a place where he had scored before for Tottenham. That was also a pretty good goal, a bit of a screamer that, if you remember that goal from Eriksen. Long ball forward, headed backwards by Malacia, so Martinez has to give chase on Che Adams, and he just has to hurry it away and clear. Here is Casemiro out on the sidelines, warming up alongside Fred and Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, he knows Ronaldo well from his time at Real Madrid, and he knows Fred from his time with the Brazilian national team. Casemiro. Walker-Peters with a throw-in to Aribo. He couldn't even get it back to his full-back, and he conceded the throw-in. That's poor from Joe Aribo. He's better than that. I watched him plenty of times last season, Joe Aribo, and he is a fantastic footballer. think he's a great signing from Rangers. Around £6 million they've got him for, but I think it could rise to around 10 million, I think. But he's a fantastic player. Scored on his home debut for the Saints against Leeds to make it 2-1 in that game. Kick-started the comeback. That's a free kick for Manchester United there, as Walker Peters is the man guilty. It's taken quickly. It's now with Lisandro Martinez at the back. It's now with Scott McTominay, the number 39. You might see when he plays for Scotland, he usually plays in a back three at centre-half, and that's kind of the position he's just taken up now while United are in possession, going in between the two centre-halves. De Gea's on it. Gets out to Varane. Right-footed ball down the right channel. In behind for Elanga, who gets there ahead of Gineppo. Keeps the ball in play, but he loses it out. Great tackle from Gineppo. Ball goes inside towards Ward-Prowse. He just has to hoof away with the left boot, because that was a risky ball there by Gineppo. Did well to win that against Elanga, because Elanga had got there ahead of him, but he was able to tackle him, but then his pass let him down a little bit there. Moussa Gineppo. Header won by Salisu, headed inside by Elanga to Rashford, lose that to Lavia, who looks to play the ball forward. He does do so nicely to Che Adams as it gets beyond Rafa Varane, who's having to recover quickly. Adams holds it up, he looks for the switch towards the right, and he will find James Ward-Prowse. Goes for the early cross, it deflects off Malacia, and it will bounce into the hands of De Gea, and it stays on the pitch. And it's now back in United possession. Like I say, great half football so far. We've got 9 minutes left, plus added on time. We've had 5 shots from Southampton, 6 for United. United are just favouring the possession with around 58% of it. But Southampton have held their own. They've had a few decent shots themselves. United have had the biggest chance in around, I think it was around the 20th minute, where a few of their players had chances at goal, but they were superbly either saved or blocked by Southampton defenders. Fernandes feeds it down the line for Elanga on the right-hand side, right near those travelling supporters who have come in their numbers like they always do, Manchester United. He plays it back into Dalot. Inside to Malacia, the number 12. Works it once more to Eriksen, who's got everything to his right-hand side. He crosses right across goal. Fernandes committed in the 6-yard area to try and get there, but it was just a little bit too heavy for him. He applauds the cross from Christian Eriksen. He swung it right beyond every single Southampton defender, and Fernandes was just never really going to get there, was he? He was not really that close, if we're going to be completely honest. The bounce took it away from him, and it's against another warning sign to Southampton, because obviously when you've got the players like Christian Eriksen, who can get an assist from anywhere, who's also got a ridiculous amount of assists in the Premier League. He's got 66 assists in 240 previous Premier League appearances. Varane clears away from the kick up by Bazunu. Salisu, good dominant defending, but his head is only going as far as Eriksen, who tries to set Sancho away in behind. What a ball that is, but Bazunu comes out to the edge of his 18-yard box to clear. Really good ball that from Eriksen finding Sancho, but it wasn't for the initiative of Bazunu coming out to clear. Then could have been danger for Southampton. They're still in it at 0-0 before half-time. Walker Peters coming down the right-hand side here, chased by Fernandes, gets the ball inside to El Yunusi. Looks to try and play the ball forward and then behind towards Che Adams, and he gets to him. He pulls it across goal, and it's a weak, tame effort. It can be easily saved by David De Gea, but Martinez just got caught in behind there. The Argentine centre-half. Didn't think the ball was going to reach Che Adams because the pace on the pass wasn't great, and thankfully for Martinez, the pace on the shot wasn't great as well. United get away with that one as Eriksen turns it around the corner, only as far as Bella Kotchap. That's a poor ball from Eriksen. It's back in possession for Southampton. Manchester United did get off to a great start last season. They got 4 wins and a draw in their first 5. But then they only got 1 win in their last 7 games under Ollie, which got him the sack. Che Adams, chests it down beautifully on the edge of the 18-yard box and strikes towards goal, but it goes way over the bar. Yeah, a bit of a sorry end, wasn't it, to the reign of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 4-1 loss to Watford away. Saw him seeing the door. But away from home last season, they were pretty poor. They lost 8 games away from home last season in the Premier League. 6 of them were in the last 6 Premier League games they played last season. So, end of last season just really let them down. It led them to a 6th place finish on only 58 points and a goal difference of 0. Conceded 57 and scored 57. It just wasn't a great season for Manchester United, despite the legend and the icon himself, Ronaldo, returning. It just didn't really change their fortunes that much. Dalot. Back it goes to Varane. 5 minutes until we played the 45 minutes, or the first 45 minutes of this Premier League fixture between Southampton and Manchester United. 132nd meeting between these two teams. United have won this game 67 times, 28 of them in the Premier League, and 28 of those Premier League wins have come away from home. Lavia picks it up on the halfway line. He's brought down, and that will be a free kick for Southampton, conceded by Scott McTominay, who was brought into the Manchester United senior team back in 2017. Now he's coming up towards, he's now at the age of 25, so he's no longer young, really. Scott McTominay, who did score a goal against Southampton in that 9-0 win. But this away losing streak they've got, United, is their longest since December of 1936, where they lost 10 in a row. They're obviously a little bit off that still. If they lose today, it'll be 8. It's not even like they're drawing some of these away games. They're losing every single one. It's quite worrying, as we've got a Southampton free kick. Ward-Prowse drills it in. It nearly goes all the way through, but it's a header won by Martinez. And it can be helped away by Machester as he hooks it clear only as far as Gineppo gets it back forward towards Aribo. He does win the flick on, but there's no one there to chase for Southampton. And it is an easy catch in the end for De Gea, who quickly rolls it out to Martinez. But United's new signings have come up towards £130 million. For the likes of Casemiro and Martinez making up the high amount of those funds. But if they're going in for this Ajax winger Anthony, then could be an extra £80 million on top of that. They could be spending over £200 million on 5 players, which is quite ridiculous. As Fernandes swings it in, headed away by Salisu on the edge of the 18-yard box. As far as Adam Armstrong gets it to Lavia, who brings it down and takes it away from Fernandes and plays it to captain Ward-Prowse. Works it to Walker Peters on the right. Down the line it goes. It's a curling ball towards Che Adams, who won't win it ahead of Martinez, who will then slam the ball away up the field towards Marcus Rashford in the corner flag, who will give chase, but he will lose out in the end to Bella Kotchap. Looks like a really good centre-half they've brought in from the Bundesliga. Ralph Hasenhüttl. Only 20 years of age. Bella Kotchap. And Salisu next to him is only 23 as well, born in 1999. But there's the bench for United. Erik ten Hag, the main man. He's got his assistants there as well. Steve McLaren and Mitchell van der Gaag. 2 assistants he's got. Ball forward towards Che Adams. It falls to Aribo. Prods it to Lavia. Tries to get a ball out wide left, but it falls to Dalot in the end, and he can burst forward here, getting beyond Moussa Gineppo. Playing it down the line to Elanga, who tries to burst past Salisu. Keeps it in, and wins the throw-in for his side. For Salisu to kick out of play. That was well won by Anthony Elanga. But I'm hearing when I was doing my research of this game that if this Anthony winger comes in from Ajax, then it looks like Anthony Elanga could be shipped out on loan. Just have to see what happens with that. Remember, Elanga is only still at the age of 20. Only making his 27th Premier League appearance. And he's also not got a great record in the Premier League. In the 26 games before today in the Premier League, he's won 10 and lost 10. United just with settled possession, not really getting pressed here by Southampton as they work it to the left here to Jadon Sancho, number 25. Enters the box, plays it into Machester, who can pull it back to Elanga. Lays it off to Rashford on the edge of the 18-yard box. His shot's blocked, but he does fall to McTominay, who's tackled by Aribo, and he's fouled. Poor place to give a free kick away there from the former Rangers man. Well won by Scott McTominay. And for the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen, this is a great place to win a free kick. It is as well. He's not touched the ball there, Joe Aribo, and he took down the Scotsman. Yep, clips the Manchester United midfielder, and this is a great position for a free kick. A minute before we played the 45. And to be honest, United have definitely got to be working Gavin Bazunu here. It's around 22 yards out. Fernandes and Eriksen are stood over it. You do fancy either of them to stick this in the back of the net to give Manchester United a lead before half-time. Fernandes is the one closest to the ball currently as he makes his marks away from the ball. Eriksen's also there. So it will be the Portuguese or the Dane to take it. Ward-Prowse lays behind the Southampton wall. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes, and he hits the wall. Good defending by Southampton there, but he should have got it over the wall. He should be getting that on target at least. He'd be disappointed with himself there, Bruno Fernandes. Dalot throws it back to the halfway line to Martinez. As 45 minutes have been played, it doesn't look like the fourth official's got any added on time, and that is that. 45 minutes played, and the referee Andy Madley blows for half-time. It is Manchester United 0 away at Southampton, who have also yet to score. It's been a decent first half, though, from both Southampton and Manchester United. Both teams having great chances, but the first major chances came in the 20th minute. As United didn't have one chance, I think they had about 3 in one attack. The ball got forward. The ball was put in by Diogo Dalot on the cross. Fernandes went for the header. It came off Walker-Peters, and that ball off Walker-Peters went right across goal to Alanga, who shot at the near post. It was saved by Gavin Bazunu, and then it went back towards Fernandes, who swung at it. It was cleared away almost as far as Eriksen, around 8 yards out, who had a shot at goal, and it was superbly blocked by a Southampton defender. That was the first major chance, and I really don't know how United didn't score from it, but Southampton have also had their own chances as well. 10 minutes later, Southampton had a big chance from a corner where new signing Bella Kotchap was left unmarked at the far post, and he prodded a shot towards goal way over the bar. He would have been disappointed with that. And then literally a minute later, Armstrong went down the left-hand side. He crossed it towards Adams, who got there ahead of Martinez. He quickly spun and shot, but unfortunately it was straight at David De Gea. And then another chance for Southampton as well, where El Yunusi played a pass in behind the United defence for Adams, who got in behind Martinez, who thought the pass wasn't heavy enough to get to the striker. It was. He then pulled it towards goal, but it was an easy save in the end for Southampton. They're the main chances, so at half-time it is Southampton 0, Manchester United 0. More chances for Southampton, more main clear-cut chances, but possession has swayed to United with 60%, and they've only had one more shot as well. So shots and chances, pretty equal. Southampton probably having the bigger chances, but United are also knocking at the Southampton door. So at half-time, I think it's a pretty fair result so far. Southampton 0, Manchester United 0. A great first half of football. Southampton really going at it, and remember, they have got a very youthful side. Southampton, you know what? I'll go through the age of their team. Starting 11, goalkeeper starting first. So their goalkeeper's 20 years old. Walker-Peters 25. Salisu is Mohamed Salisu is 23. Bella Kotchap is 20. Gineppo's 24. Ward-Prowse is 24. Ward-Prowse is 27. Sorry, Lavia is 18. Aribo's 26. Salisu's 28. Armstrong's 25. And Che Adams is 26. They have not got one player over the age of 30 in this starting 11. I think that is crazy. Great youth shown there. That shows how much belief he has in the youth. Ralph Hasenhüttl. And also United did get their Europa League draw as well. One of the teams they did get was Real Sociedad, where they'll be welcoming David Silva to Old Trafford. Obviously, he had his fair bit of fun at Old Trafford. You might remember him pinging that assist to Edin Dzeko in that 6-1 game to make it 6. Obviously, United fans won't really want to be reminded of that, but I just have. Yeah, they've got Real Sociedad, Sharif and Omonia. Never heard of them. I'm not going to lie. But that'll be a difficult group. I think United can't underestimate that because Real Sociedad are a good Spanish side. They've got good players. Unfortunately, they have just lost their main striker, Real Sociedad, in Isaac, who's joined Newcastle officially yesterday. That'll be a good signing for Newcastle. But they're a good side. Sharif beat Real Madrid last season at the Bernabeu. You don't go to the Bernabeu and win if you're rubbish. You know what I mean? You're going to be a good team. So they'll go through. They'll probably top the group. But, you know, if there's a shock loss somewhere in that, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, if you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. I hope everyone does like the design of the channel as well. I think it looks really smart and really professional, taking a big step from last season. It's my good mate Ben who's produced it. If you want to see him for any designing stuff you might need, thumbnails, posters, designing your channel, giving you a badge, giving you a banner, hit his Instagram up. It is at @bbruntsdesign on Instagram. It's in the description. He made all my thumbnails. The thumbnails are unbelievable, by the way. Like, the thumbnails he's produced for me since he's been doing it, it's been unbelievable. So make sure if you want any thumbnails or any channel, you know, creation on that side of things, make sure you hit him up. Second half will be getting underway in just under 8 minutes side. Obviously no added on time, so as soon as we hit past, the teams should be back out, getting ready to play once again. We haven't had any yellow cards as well, because it's the first time I'm using this highlighter. So if anyone gets a booking, highlighter's coming out and I'm highlighting their name in yellow, as I've got all my notes here with the names down. Interested to see what these lot think in the BT Sports studio. Rio Ferdinand, Paul Scholes and Peter Crouch. See if they try and make out United. To be fair, United have been the dominant side. We know that with the possession, but they've had only one main chance really, where obviously Fernandes' header was cleared by Walker-Peters. It fell to Elanga. Then Fernandes had a shot. Then Eriksen had a shot. I don't know how it didn't go in. Great save by Bazunu on Elanga. It went across. Walker-Peters defended that one well. And then Bella Kotchap also defended the Eriksen shot. I just don't know how it didn't go in. Like, it definitely should have. And that's not me having a go at United's attackers. They didn't really do much wrong, to be fair. It was just the unbelievable defending from Southampton that meant that United didn't score. Because when Fernandes went for that header and it came off Walker-Peters, then went across to Elanga, and then Elanga's shot went back over to Fernandes. His shot was blocked by Walker-Peters right on his face. That would have been that would have hurt that one. It's definitely better, this, from Manchester United compared to Brighton and compared to Brentford. But they're showing here how United's midfielders are struggling to show themselves to get the ball here due to the press and the midfield work of Southampton. So a lot of the time they're pressing into Southampton, so they're blocking the passing lanes to McTominay and Eriksen, who are trying to find space. But if they keep going like that, they can't get the ball in between them because obviously they'll just cut it out. So they are finding it hard, United, to find Eriksen and McTominay, because when they do find McTominay, he can more drive with the ball. He's a bit more of an engine like that. But if they find Eriksen, he can pick up the ball and get balls in behind and find that defence-splitting pass. So if they can get them in the game a bit more, then they might have more success in getting forward. But Southampton are doing well to avoid that and make it hard to get the ball to the likes of Eriksen. The second half is coming up in 5 minutes time. Got my fantasy team up as well waiting. I've got Joe Rebo on my bench. So hopefully Aribo doesn't score because that'll annoy me. But I've got a fantastic fantasy team. I'm happy with this one this week. I've gone for a back five. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think I've ever gone for a back five, so it's risky. But every single person in my back five, even back six, if you include the goalkeeper, are from different teams. So, yeah, it's gonna be difficult for sure to get as many clean sheets as possible. But we'll hope for the best. Got Sanchez in goal from Brighton, Zinchenko, Cancelo, Nico Williams, Trippier, and Rico Henry. That's a back five. You don't get more attacking fullbacks than that. You actually don't get any more attacking fullbacks than them five in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Then De Bruyne in midfield of Martinelli and Salah. That's a joke. And then Haaland and Jesus up front. I'm not bothered. My team's class. I'm happy with my team. Watch it stink this week and I get like 40 points or 30 points. But on paper, before any games have been played, I like my team. It looks good. Actually, United have got good history in this game. Like, they don't lose to Southampton very often at all. But it has been a staggering 571 days since that 9-0 defeat that Southampton picked up to Manchester United, where Aaron Wan-Bissaka scored, Rashford scored, Bednarek scored no goal, then got sent off later on in the game, but then it was rescinded after the game. Cavani, McTominay, Fernandes penalty, Dan James, Martial scored 2, and then also Alec Jankovic got sent off in the second minute. So it was 2 red cards and a 9-0 defeat. You just don't get much worse than that. And that was a second 9-0 defeat under Ralph Hasenhüttl. Obviously, they've lost 9-0 to Leicester 3 seasons ago now. But yet he's still here. He's been here since December 2018. You've got to respect it. He stayed in the job. They've backed him still, even though it would have been very difficult too. And they have brought through some fantastic youthful signings. And the future of Southampton does look very, very strong. Just have to see how many of these players they can keep, because obviously we know Southampton in the past have brought through these amazing young players and they've been sold on to, mainly Liverpool or Tottenham or whoever. So even though they've got a really good young squad, it's if they can keep these players to try and be successful in the future. They've only won 4 trophies in their history, and one of them was an FA Cup, and it was against Manchester United back in 1976. They beat them 1-0. Robert Stokes was the man who scored for Southampton. So they'll want more trophies in the trophy cabinet, even though it's harder to win trophies this season in these eras. Because all the big teams are always wanting to win trophies, no matter which one it is. We'll wonder what the second half is going to bring. I hope it brings goals. If I'm going to be completely honest, we could do with some, but we'll see. But I've got to say, the 2 centre halves of Southampton are having absolute blinders. By the way, Bella Kotchap, and Mohamed Salisu are absolutely unbelievable today. I know they're not got to deal with a main striker, and they could be dealing with a main striker because Ronaldo's on the bench. They're playing very well. I think Martinez and Varane, I think the 2 centre-back partners for both teams have actually been very strong. I mean, I know Varane and Martinez are having to deal with Che Adams, who isn't the most dangerous Premier League striker, but Martinez and Varane are winning a lot of their duels aerially and on the floor as well. But no, I think if these 2 defenders keep, these 2 sets of centre-backs keep defending the way they are, we might struggle to see goals. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh, it'll be interesting as well. Do we see Casemiro coming? Do we see Ronaldo coming? There's options there, isn't there, for Manchester United? Van der Beek as well, if he's fancying him, which doesn't seem like he is, to be honest. As both sets of players are back out on the field, and we'll be shortly getting underway for the second half of this Premier League tie between Southampton and Manchester United at St Mary's. We have been at this ground since 2001. It was built and it cost around £32 million after moving from their own stadium, the Dell. Going to wait for the referee's whistle. It'll be Southampton kicking left to right this time, right to left this time, and Manchester United kicking from left to right as the referee's blowed his whistle. We're underway for this second half, where it remains 0-0. But will that change within the second half? Mr. Gineppo, left back, with a throw-in early on in this second half. Throws it into Lavia, back to Gineppo, right-footed clearance, helped on by Aribo, helped forward by Varane from Manchester United. Looks like Salisu, headed towards Aribo. He doesn't keep it in play, and that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United in the Southampton half. Diogo Dalot waiting for the movement, waiting for the right player to throw it to, and he's found Fernandes, who heads it inside towards McTominay, loses out to Ward-Prowse, only as far as Ericsson, who helps it back forward, helped away by Salisu towards Che Adams, loses out to Varane, only because Varane fouled him illegally, and that'll be a free kick for Southampton. Well won by the forward man, Che Adams, now a Scottish international, after changing his citizenship. He's got 5 goals for that country, making his debut back in March of 2021. Did score against United in the last game between these two sides, which was in February of this year. It was 1-1 at Old Trafford. Sancho scored in the 21st minute, and then Adams equalised in the 48th minute, and that was that for that game. As De Gea has it in his hands, as Aribo was being searched for in the United box, but it didn't get anywhere near the Nigerian in the end, and it's now with David De Gea. He got only 8 clean sheets last season. It was his second worst season in the Premier League. I think the season worse than that was the 2018-2019 season when he picked up 7, I think. They could be taking the lead here with Sancho in the box on the left-hand side. Wants to get into his right foot. He lays it off into Ericsson, who crosses. Blocked by Lavia. Will fall to McTominay, who keeps it alive. It's now Ericsson out to Dalot. Crosses it into Sancho at the far post, who nods it inside. He was looking for Fernandes, but it's cleared by, I think that is, I'm not sure who that is, if I'm going to be honest. El Yunusi it was. And then Che Adams again wins another free kick for his side. Playing that role very nicely. I was going to mention this before the game, and they're highlighting it now. Parts of this Southampton pitch look horrendous. Not sure why. Obviously, I think we'll find out after the game. But some of the parts of the pitch look very, bad. You can clearly see, the lack of grass. You can see the brown, I say mud. It's not really muddy, is it? To be fair. It's not been raining or anything, do you know what I mean? But, it just looks poor. Fernandes found down the left channel. 1-on-1 with Lavia on the left-hand side. Good tackle by Romeo Lavia, the 18-year-old Belgian. Ward-Prowse can clip it away. Only as far as Malacia, though. That's good defending from Romeo Lavia, because if Fernandes got beyond him, he was going to be able to take a shot at goal. But positive start from United. Definitely on the front foot the first 3.5 minutes. As McTominay's been found in behind in the box by Elanga. McTominay decides to strike. It's a good save down low to Bazoon, who's left. He parries it away for a corner. But like I say, much better start here from Manchester United than Southampton, who's well worked there. Got it to Rashford, who laid it off into Elanga, who fed McTominay in behind, who nice bit of technique, volleyed it with his right boot towards goal. But it was easily saved. It was a comfortable one. He'd be very disappointed if he got beaten from there. Gavin Bazunu. It's going to be an outswinging ball from Christian Eriksen. It's a curler. It's in towards Varane, who wins the header. Over the bar it goes. Southampton goal kick. Erik ten Hag's having a discussion with Steve McLaren, one of the assistants. The technical director is also down there as well in Darren Fletcher. Obviously, they've had 4 managers now in the last 8 years. Ralph Ragnick, technically, being interim manager. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And Jose Mourinho. And Louis van Gaal. So now they're on to their 5th under Erik ten Hag. Dalot loses out, has to concede the free kick. That should be a booking for the Portuguese. And it's a yellow card for Diogo Dalot. He played a short ball forward and he had to try and recover himself. Gineppo got there first and he had to block off the Malian international. And he concedes the free kick there, Diogo Dalot. Now on a booking, the 23-year-old Portuguese, making his 48th Premier League appearance, coming up towards 50 for the full-back. But he's conceded this free kick, and it's going to have to be dealt with. Ward-Prowse is on it with his right foot. It is quite the distance, so it's going to have to be a really good ball here from Ward-Prowse, but we don't deny his ability. It's headed on by Bella Kotchap, straight to the hands of De Gea. It was a weak header in the end, and it can be thrown out quickly to Jadon Sancho on the left-hand side. Try to take on Lavia, gets it inside to Malacia. Inside to Fernandes, lays it off into Eriksen. It's back into the possession of Manchester United. Just under 6 minutes into the second half. Still deadlocked at 0-0 as Diogo Dalot, who's now on a booking, plays it forward to Alanga. Inside to Rashford, 1-2. Nicely done with the Swede. Now a ball to Fernandes. Lays it back into Alanga in the box. Can he get shot away? What a tackle that is by Bella Kotchap. And he is one heck of a player, this German international. Great 1-2 with Rashford from Alanga, and another great 1-2, but that time with Fernandes, who got him in behind. He got him behind Lavia and Salisu, and on the cover, on the recovery, Bella Kotchap with a great tackle, cleanly gets the ball, fell into the hands of Gavin Bazunu, and it looks like he may have injured himself with that tackle. Hopefully he'll be able to continue, because he's been an absolute rock at the back for Southampton. As he'll be getting some medical treatment, the young German international. It looks like he's hurt his right leg after putting that challenge in on Anthony Elanga. And that'll be a big blow for Southampton if he has to come off. It's looking slightly worrying here for Bella Kotchap. They have got cover at centre-half to come off the bench. They've got Lianco, the Brazilian, who joined last season from Torino. They've also got Jan Bednarek as well, obviously famously sent off in that 9-0 defeat to Manchester United. He currently very heavily linked to join Aston Villa on a season-long loan. The Polish centre-back, who's currently valued at £19.8 million. He's back on his feet. He's walking off the field with the medical staff. So I think he might be running this off and seeing how he can cope with it. And if he can't continue, then they can make a substitute. Obviously, there's 5 this season. So let's just keep an eye out here. Anthony Taylor, the 4th official, is just standing alongside the centre-half. He's been allowed to come back on as he hobbled back towards his position. Let's see how long he can last. And if he can run that slight injury off that he picked up from an unbelievable tackle he made on Anthony Elanga. As we're back underway with Bazunu on the ball, the goalkeeper. Right-footed clearance up the field, won by Varane. Head only as far as Walker-Peters. He plays it down the line himself and it will run out for a throw-in for Manchester United. Got to remember, they had an unbelievable winning record, an unbeaten record, didn't they, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United, with games away from home. They went 29 games unbeaten away in the Premier League, which is the longest run in the Premier League history, winning 19 of those 29 as well. But obviously under Ralph Rangnick, they conceded many away victories, conceded a lot of losses. Obviously, it's 6 in a row at the end of last season, 7 in a row with a loss to Brentford. They want to try and stop that rot of away losses. Rashford gets on the left on the halfway, finds McTominay, turns away from El Yunusi. It's now with Martinez over to Rafael Varane, only making his 25th appearance, but in his previous 24, he's only lost 5 games in the Premier League. Here's Alanga through to Sancho, out wide to Dalot, who's on a booking. He gets it across to Bruno Fernandes. Unbelievable finish from the Portuguese international. He finally gets his first goal of the season, and what a way to secure it with an unbelievable right-footed finish into the bottom left corner. And you've got to say, in the first 10 minutes of this second half, United have been the much better side, a lot more bright in their attacking play, and they've been granted a goal with their success of getting forward more and looking a lot more dangerous. It was well worked to Dalot on the right. He zipped the ball towards Fernandes, and on the volley, on the right foot, he strokes it beyond Gavin Bazunu in the Southampton goal. It's so well placed by the Portuguese magician, who just let it come across onto his right foot, strokes it home. The Manchester United captain puts his side 1-0 ahead. Ten Hag is delighted, and rightly so. It's a superb goal. It's been a superb start to the second half, and 10 minutes in to the second 45 minutes, it's Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. Superb goal. One Portuguese man to the other. Dalot to Fernandes. 1-0 United. And on the balance of this second half so far, you'd probably say it's been deserved. Despite the heroic defending that we've seen from Southampton today. Great goal from Fernandes. It's his first of the season. On his 130th Manchester United appearance, is his 51st goal. Unbelievable assist from Diogo Dalot as well, who gets his first goal contribution of the season. And they'll have to try and rebound from this quickly, Southampton, because, like I say, this second half, United have been very, very good. And that goal shows it. Fernandes has now scored 3 times against Southampton. This is his 6th appearance. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists against the Saints, so he obviously likes playing this team. And that's a superb way to put United ahead. It's a great worked goal. And here is Alanga on the right, getting away from Musa Gineppo. Tackled though by Aribo, and it'll be cleared by Bella Kotchap. The clearance will be given chase to by Adams, as it's Martinez who hooks it away. Or as far as Walker-Peters, who keeps it away from Rashford. Keeps the ball for Southampton as they work their way back to the Irishman. Bazunu, ball up toward Prowse. He flicks it up towards Adams, won by Martinez, but his clearance has gone straight toward Prowse, who pokes it out to Gineppo on the left. They're going to look for a quick comeback here, Southampton. They fed it to Armstrong on the left-hand side. Left foot trying to go inside on Dalot. Kicks it off the Portuguese international, and that's a corner for Southampton. Like I said, they've got a rotting run against United in terms of not beating them. They've made that a lot harder now, being behind. Like I say, United are unbeaten in 13 games against Southampton in all competitions, with 6 wins and 8 draws. Ward-Prowse in swinger in the 6-yard box, header won by McTominay. It will fall back to Ward-Prowse. He'll fancy another cross as it's helped on by Adams. Hooked over the crossbar, and that'll be a goal kick for United. Coming up towards the hour mark, I wonder if we'll be seeing any changes soon from either side. So United wanting a clean sheet, and they're on their track. They're on track for it. Diogo Dalot tries to play inside, gives it away to Aribo. Armstrong into Chadams, back to goal, tries to turn Martinez. He pulls it towards Armstrong. It's well dealt with by McTominay, well read. And a big arm in the air from Dalot, because despite providing the assist for the United goal, he's nearly thrown that all away. Nearly give Southampton a big chance there. But he got away with it. But Southampton now do have possession deep in the United half, and they've got a long throw in here with Mohamed Salisu. If they're going to concede, they definitely don't want to concede from a long throw in. And in it goes. Adams helps it on. Header won by Eriksson. Helped away by Alanga. Clearance going to Walker-Peters, who hooks it towards Che Adams in the box. Chests it down. It comes off loads of hands. Adams is absolutely certain that's come off a hand. VAR will check that. And Adams is now on the ball. And he plays it out to Walker-Peters on the far right-hand side. Let's see if that was a handball when we see a replay. He was asking for it. Big time there, Che Adams. Romeo Lavia takes it away from Fernandes. Great skill from the midfielder. Plays that along to Armstrong on the left-hand side. Sprinting away from McTominay on the edge of the 18-yard box. Trying to get onto his right foot. Kicked by McTominay, but he carries on. Great skill from Armstrong. Gets into a rebo. He keeps it alive despite Dalot trying to clear it. Now moves to Gineppo on the byline. Gets beyond Dalot and Alanga. It's now with Armstrong on the edge of the box. Ward-Prowse helps it to Lavia to the left. Into a rebo. Back to goal. He lays it off into Gineppo. Lavia. Good pressure here from Southampton. United feeling it. Bella Kochap. Out to Walker-Peters on the right-hand side. Gets beyond one. And has to cut back. And find the support of Mohamed El Yunusi. He's been pretty quiet today. The Norwegian. Pressure continues from Manchester United in terms of the press, forcing Southampton back to the halfway line. Presuming VAR's not going to do anything about that handball shout from Che Adams on McTominay. Still yet to see a replay of it due to this pressure from Southampton, and finally that pressure's kind of taken off United as Martinez kicks it out of play for a throw-in. Let's have a look. Came off the chest of Che Adams, and McTominay had his arm out like that. It was around a yard away from him though, so it'd be difficult for McTominay to move his hand. I'm not sure. He chested it, and McTominay's arm was out like that, and it hit his arm, but it was like a yard away from him. So I think you'll always split opinion on those decisions. I think VAR decided to not get involved. Well, they got involved, but decided the referee there was nothing wrong. Long ball up, header won by Martinez, only as far as Walker-Peters. He lays it off to Ward-Prowse. He's got everything to his left. He crosses it. It's a dangerous ball in. It's a header won, I think, by McTominay, and that's a corner for Southampton. They've really upped it in the last 5 minutes since conceding the goal to Bruno Fernandes. Combined 19 shots in this game so far between both sides, 11 of them from Manchester United. Here's Ward-Prowse with the corner. He's going to go short to Gineppo, who turns, crosses. It's going to be another corner for Southampton. I think Ward-Prowse will just swing this one in this time. Ward-Prowse, an outswinger. He's going to put it in this time. It's a good ball. Bella Kochap wins it, but heads it straight over the crossbar, and that'll be a goal kick for Manchester United. It's first change of the game, and it's an annoying one for me. Mohamed El Yunusi will be coming off. He's been pretty non-existent in this game. El Yunusi making his 49th Premier League appearance, and he'll be replaced by Stuart Armstrong, formerly of Celtic. He's been at the club now since 2018. He's played United 7 times previously, and he's not won, but he has scored twice, and they were both in 2-2 draws in the 2018-2019 season and one in the 2019-2020 season. But unfortunately, we've now got 2 Armstrongs on the pitch, so I'll have to use first names for both of them. But that's okay, that's my job on this channel. Martinez, long ball looking for Rashford. Really poor from United though. Since they've scored that goal, you would hope they would try and build on that goal and try and get at Southampton to try and put the nail in the coffin a little bit, but Southampton have really got at them, and they've struggled, United, since conceding. Great ball by Bazunu into Che Adams. Lays it back into Walker-Peters. We're on the halfway line now. Bella Kochap goes back to Bazunu in the Southampton goal. Ball punted forward towards Che Adams. It will drop to Malacia. There's an offside. Che Adams offside. That's poor from the striker. But Southampton only won 1 of their last 11 Premier League games last season, and that was a 1-0 win against Arsenal. It did take them 8 games last season to get their first win of the season. They drew 3 and lost 4 of their first 7. Obviously, it's not took them that long this season. They got their first win last week in game week 3 to Leicester City away. De Gea with the free kick. Long it goes, won by Ward-Prowse up towards Che Adams. He nods it towards Stuart Armstrong. Doesn't fall to him though, unfortunately. And Malacia plays it back to De Gea, who clears it up the field first time. Looks far as Mohamed Salisu on halfway. Looks for Aribo, won by Dalot. Switched over to Sancho, gets there ahead of Walker-Peters, but his ball towards Eriksen is short. And it's now with Ward-Prowse. Calmly plays it back into Bella Kotchap, the German centre-half. It's now with Gavin Bazunu. Southampton need a goal. 25 minutes to go. Clipped out to Musa Gineppo, goes over his head and misses out Adam Armstrong. It's now Dalot forward to Elanga. Ball lifted into absolutely nobody. That's such a poor, shocking ball from Elanga. That's lazy. Showing his lack of quality there. And it's now back in Southampton possession as the ball gets played forward to Lavia. Out wide it goes to Adam Armstrong on the left-hand side. Got Gineppo and support to his left. But he's going to keep running forward towards the byline here. He spins, gets the cross in, header, saved. Walker-Peters heads over. Big opportunity, big save from David De Gea. And Joe Aribo is the one who got the header saved by De Gea. And Walker-Peters headed it over. But just all from a lazy, rubbish Elanga pass. And then nearly conceded. Armstrong held it up well. He was able to spin and cross. And then Joe Aribo from 6 yards out darted the header towards goal. It was well saved by David De Gea. And from the parry, Walker-Peters had a bite at a header, but he put it over the bar. It's right at De Gea, so you'd expect him to save it from Joe Aribo, but it's still a good save nonetheless. But like I said, all from a lazy pass from Elanga. That's what can happen. It's almost like he feels he can make the bad pass because it doesn't matter. I don't know, it was weird that. Poor from Elanga. And Southampton nearly capitalised. The only win that Southampton have had against United at St Mary's was a 1-0 win in the 88th minute from James Beattie. That was in the August of 2003. And a certain man came off the bench that game. And Carlos Cristiano Ronaldo, who's currently about to enter the pitch in this game. Obviously, he came on when it was 0-0 Ronaldo and his team lost that late. But he's coming in this game where his team are ahead. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? 19 years later, and Ronaldo is being brought on off the bench against Southampton at St Mary's. Crazy. And he's going to replace Jadon Sancho, the man who scored against Liverpool on Monday. He's going to be coming off with 23 minutes to go, and he'll be replaced by Ronaldo. So I'm presuming Marcus Rashford will go onto the left wing, and Ronaldo will go up front. He's played 3 games so far this season, yet to score an assist. He's got 1 full 90 minutes, and that was against Brentford in game week 2. He then came off late off the bench against Liverpool. You can't doubt Ronaldo's ability. 5 Ballon d'Ors. His last one came in 2017. He's won 5 Champions League, 3 Premier Leagues. He's got 2 goals against Southampton previously, and they both came in the 2004-2005 season. 1 in an FA Cup fixture they played, and then 1 in the Premier League. As a free kick's been given to Southampton here, can Ronaldo make a difference and get his team to double their lead? If Manchester United scored 2 goals, by the way, they would have scored 100 goals against Southampton in the Premier League. And it'll be the 5th team they've scored 100 or more goals against in the Premier League. So 1 more, and that'll be another milestone hit from United as Che Adams gets it on the chest. Looking for his options, he gets it to the Ward-Prowse in the right-back position. And Walker-Peters is tackled, and he'll win a throw-in for his side. Walker-Peters throws it in towards Adams, doesn't get the return, and it's cleared away by Marcus Rashford. And that ball down the line, which was chased by Ronaldo. He's won the throw-in there as he forced the Southampton defender to head away for a throw-in. Obviously, a lot of speculation over his future at Manchester United. Obviously, got 1 year left on his contract. Apparently Napoli are the new team that are most strongly connected to the Portuguese 37-year-old. This is his 230th Premier League appearance. He's scored 102 goals in those. Previous 229. Eriksen. Fernandes. Inside to McTominay. Edge of the box. Enters the box. Pokes it through to Ronaldo. Tries to get onto his left foot. Strong challenge from Gineppo. Gineppo. And it can be a break on here for Southampton. Aribo over to Stuart Armstrong on the right-hand side. Looks for Che Adams. Chests it down. Lays it back into Stuart Armstrong. It's now Ward-Prowse on the right. Crosses towards Aribo. Cut out by Dalot in the box. And he can clear it up the field towards the left-hand side. And that'll be a throw in for Southampton. Close though from McTominay. Burst into the box really well. And it found Ronaldo, who tried to get to his right foot. But was stopped in his tracks really well by Moussa Gineppo. Moussa Gineppo did assist Ward-Prowse in the opening game of the season for them against Tottenham Hotspur. They've got exactly 20 minutes left, plus added on time. It's Romeo Lavia. Ball forward into Adam Armstrong on the left-hand side. He's got Moussa Gineppo in support as he bursts into the United half and deep into it as well, halfway into the United half on the far left-hand side. He's now back with Romeo Lavia, the number 45, only 18 years of age. It's his first real taste of professional first-team football, and he's settled in so well. Stuart Armstrong nodded into Adams on the right side of the box. He gets brought down by Martinez, but he's not really asking for a penalty. Play continues as Stuart Armstrong wins it back for Southampton. He gets the ball inside looking for Ward-Prowse, but it's cleared away quickly by Christian Eriksen. It's still close this at 1-0. It's Walker-Peters. Gets away from Fernandes and wins the throw-in off Marcus Rashford. Taken quickly into Adams. Loses out though to Eriksen, but it's won back by Southampton with Walker-Peters. Takes a heavy touch forward and he gets fouled there by Malacia on the right-hand side, and that'll be a great position for a free kick for Ward-Prowse on the far right-hand side. Well won by Walker-Peters, the number 2 for Southampton. Took that heavy touch and he got there ahead of Malacia. Easy given free kick there for Andy Madley. I'm surprised he's not got the yellow card out there for Tyrell Malacia, the young Dutchman. Don't think there was a booking, but it's a great opportunity for a free kick for Ward-Prowse. Left arm in the air. Can they find an equaliser from this free kick? In it goes towards Salisu. Header won by a Manchester United man. It falls to Adams in the box. He lays it off to Alavia on the edge of the 18-yard box. Goes across to Stuart Armstrong. Zips it to Adam Armstrong on the left-hand side. 1-on-1 with Dalot. Also being pressured by Alanga. Tries to get in between the both of them, and he has done so nicely. Armstrong keeps going. In the box. Right foot into it. Nice block by Varane. As far as Lavia. Back to Gineppo. Forward to Lavia. Takes it on the turn. Does he fancy a strike? Yes, he does. But that's a wild strike from Lavia, and that goes way wide of the mark. In the under-23s version of the Premier League 2, Romeo Lavia did bag 2 goals in 35 appearances, so doesn't score too often, and you can tell that with that strike. It was wild and wide, and United are now back in possession as they look for a first clean sheet of the season and a first away win as well. Varane with a long ball forward finds Walker-Peters, but he will be chased down by Cristiano Ronaldo, and he can't win the ball off Walker-Peters, and that's a foul by Cristiano Ronaldo. Doing well to chase it down there. CR7. Currently on 698 club goals. Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, who else would be on that amount of club goals, to be fair? I don't think I had to repeat his name again. There's only one man who's scored that many club goals, obviously alongside Lionel Messi, but he's currently plying his trade. He's currently finishing his career off at PSG. Long ball forward by Bazunu, looking for Che Adams. He keeps it as well. Against Martinez, who tackles him nicely. Cross goes in by Ward-Prowse, not cleared very well. Stuart Armstrong tries the shot, blocked. Che Adams has stayed down though from that Martinez. Foul. Southampton are continuing. Armstrong's down as well. Stuart Armstrong's down in the box. Che Adams looks a lot better though. Presuming they've kicked it out because they didn't actually show me, but Martinez with a strong tackle on Che Adams. Would have maybe caught him with the studs a little bit. But that's not really dirty. I think he's got the ball. Oh, we did go through Adams, to be fair. I don't know. I don't mind that kind of tackle. You've got to go through him a little bit. Not obviously where you go through him and don't get the ball, but if you kind of get the ball first, but then also really give it him as well, I don't mind that. But it's not great, really, for Southampton. They've gone on an attack and they've got 2 of their players injured. Che Adams, one of them, and also Stuart Armstrong, who's not come on too long ago, around 10 minutes ago. But so far, these 2 teams are separated by the 1 goal, and that's from Bruno Fernandes in the 55th minute. It was a great assist by Diogo Dalot on that right-hand side, and it was a superb right-footed volley into the bottom left corner by Bruno Fernandes to get his first goal of the season. Scored 10 last season in the Premier League. All of them coming in the Premier League. So we just have a break in players. These 2 Southampton players do get treated. I think Che Adams is back on his feet. He's okay. I think they're just now looking at Stuart Armstrong. And Ronaldo's gone down. That is not what you want to see. He's looking at his knee. That's not great for United. He's only just come on as well, around five minutes ago. So not great for Manchester United fans and Ronaldo. Because if he's going to stay, you want him fit. And if he's going to go, other teams who are interested want him to come as a fit player. So this could really halt his transfer away from the club if it does end up materialising. That'll be a big blow for Ronaldo. Already has to come off. He literally came on 10 minutes ago. So same for Stuart Armstrong. Stuart Armstrong only came on 13 minutes ago, and it looks like they could both be coming off. The latest 2 substitutes who have come on, looks like they could be coming straight off. That's a superb goal from United. It's a really good finish by Bruno Fernandes, the captain, showing the quality he possesses. So it's going to be a change for Southampton. It's going to be their new striker signing in Seko Mara, signed from Bordeaux for £11 million in the summer, 20 years of age. He scored 6 League One goals last season for Bordeaux, despite them being relegated rock bottom. And he will replace an Armstrong, but it's not Stuart Armstrong. Stuart Armstrong, who is currently injured, is staying on, and Adam Armstrong is being replaced. Decent little run out from Adam Armstrong, not scored, but got his 3rd start of the season. And we're going to be seeing Casemiro. We are going to be seeing him make his Manchester United debut, signed for £60 million, a 30-year-old, only valued at £36 million. Ronaldo is on the sidelines, though. Looks like he will be coming back on, which will be a great sight to see for Manchester United fans. So after a big stoppage in play here, we're going to get at least 6 or 7 minutes added on, I'd think, because we're back underway with a ball towards Aribo on the left-hand side of the box. 1-on-1 with Dalot. Tackled by Dalot, good defending, and he clears it off Aribo to win a goal kick. Superb defending there by Aribo. The bib does go back on, though, for Casemiro. I think they're going to just delay the change for now. It's going to be just 2 seconds. Hold on, 1 minute. Sorry about this. We're back. Just a quick phone call had to be made there. And Casemiro bibs off again. So for the last 10 plus minutes. He'll be getting his Premier League debut. Not sure who will replace, because obviously Ronaldo's still struggling, but I don't know if they'd go that defensive. So we'll have to wait and see. We've got 11 minutes to go, plus added on time, which we'll get a fair chunk of due to a couple of injuries that just happened a couple minutes ago. But we're going to get a long throw in from Mohamed Salisu on the Southampton left. Still not over for United. They've still got defending to do. Salisu, long throw in. Comes off the head of McTominay. Right back area is Elanga, where he can scuff a clearance. It's not the most convincing one from Anthony Elanga. And Elanga will be the man to be substituted. He's been told to go off at the nearest point. And he'll be replaced by Casemiro. Debut for the Brazilian. He played 7 minutes for Madrid in their first league game, and then also played the full 90 minutes in their Super Cup win they got against Frankfurt. So he's not got too many minutes, but United fans will be more than delighted to see Casemiro come on for his debut for Manchester United. Like I say, the age of 30 years old. He racked up 336 appearances for Real Madrid as another long throwing goes in, dealt with by United, headed on by Ronaldo, only as far as a Southampton man, as they keep it alive here with Salisu. He crosses, but it's an easy catch in the end for David De Gea. Despite the frustration of Che Adams, as De Gea looks to send away Eriksen quickly, won by Bella Kotchap, and it's now with Ward-Prowse, who slips on the ball and it feeds it to Eriksen through the gap to Fernandes. But good recovery from Ward-Prowse. He wins the ball back. And it will be a free kick as he gets pulled from behind by Fernandes, who tried to win the ball back for his own team. Captain on captain there. Number 8 versus number 8. Getting under away quickly here with Bella Kotchap. Plays it down the right channel for Che Adams. It's slid behind by Malacia. Another Southampton throw-in. Found back to centre half Bella Kotchap. Forward to Armstrong. Halfway line is the centre half. Gets it into Ward-Prowse, who's a bit further forward than the centre half of Bella Kotchap. It's now Lavia. Swings it round to Stuart Armstrong, who's recovered from that knock he picked up around 5 minutes ago. Still Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. This game is definitely not over. Southampton have put good pressure on the last 15 minutes. Che Adams tries to drill it across the left-hand side, but it's picked up by Fernandes. Plays it forward to Ronaldo. Great flick to Eriksen. Can't get away from Stuart Armstrong, but his clearance has gone to Ronaldo. He's got the pace ahead of Salisu. No, he doesn't. Well recovered from the Ghanaian international and wins the goal kick. Unbelievable centre-back defending from Mohamed Salisu. As Ronaldo flicked it to Eriksen, who then played it in behind towards the Portuguese international. At first, I thought he got the beating of Salisu, but then the recovery pace from the Ghanaian international shows that Ronaldo could not quite get there. And obviously he's going to lose a bit of his pace now at the age of 37. Bella Kotchap comes out from the back for Southampton. Plays into Walker-Peters, who I think has had a solid game at right back. He lifts it towards Armstrong, but it comes off Casemiro. It's now back with Southampton with Aribo out muscling Scott McTominay. Well, he wasn't really holding him off. He was getting pulled back there, and that's a yellow card for McTominay. Second booking of the game, both for Manchester United, with Dalot and McTominay. So third booking of the season for McTominay, so he's picked up 3 bookings in 4 possible Premier League games. Mara, the new striker, tries to play in behind towards Stuart Armstrong, blocked by Casemiro, by Varane. But it's not cleared to a Manchester United man. 7 minutes to go, plus added on time, but I think there'll be a good 5 or 6, 7 minutes added on time. Here's Romeo Lavia. Goes back to Mohamed Salisu. He's been pressed back to Gavin Bazunu in the Southampton goal. Clears it long up towards Che Adams. Heads it inside looking for Mara. Varane gets there though, and it's Casemiro forward to McTominay. Out to the right back, Dalot in his 18-yard box. Does get a good long clearance up the field towards Ronaldo, who wins the header inside towards Eriksen, but he's been caught offside. The man who spent 9 years at Real Madrid, scoring 450 club goals for the Spanish Giants, current European holders. Southampton have been coming at United here for the last 10-15 minutes. But United have defended strongly. Lavia swings the ball in behind for Walker-Peters on the right. Great ball, but it's well dealt with by Machester. Able to hook it away for a throw-in, but not too far away. Still a danger here for Manchester United as a throw-in's been taken quickly to Stuart Armstrong. And closed down here by Rashford, but he does find Bella Kotchap with the pass. He takes on Casemiro in the box. The centre-half strikes, but it's a wild shot. Well over the bar, but Casemiro being turned inside out there by the centre-half. He got past Eriksen and then took it through the legs of Casemiro, and then he fired a shot way over the bar for Southampton. It's a good run from the young centre-back, but the way he nutmegged Casemiro and got a shot away is quite impressive by the young 20-year-old. De Gea's going to opt to take a long goal kick instead of going short. And they push up the field here with the Spaniard ready to take this goal kick with 5 minutes to go. Like I say, United are looking for their first win of the season away from home, their first clean sheet of the season as well. Oh, by David De Gea, comes off Ronaldo, finds Eriksen. 1-2 with Rashford, but he loses out to Stuart Armstrong. Gets a ball played forward to Mara. The young striker. He plays out towards Che Adams, gets taken out by Fernandes, but the ball will run to Gineppo and play will carry on. Moves to Gineppo, looking to get it onto his right foot. He does do so nicely, but he lays it off into Lavia. Cross once more to Bella Kotchap, who wants to strike from far. He does do so, comes off Casemiro, and that'll be a throw-in for Southampton. He's already had 2 strikes in quick succession, none of them really being successful for the centre-back, as he takes the throw-in quickly himself and gets it to Lavia. Finds Ward-Prowse inside. Good ball from the young Belgian. So now Ward-Prowse, who's got 49 Premier League assists. So how they would like him to get number 50 in today's game. Ball forward to Joe Aribo. Out to Gineppo on the far left in the final third. One-on-one with Dalot. Goes on the left foot. Tries this cross. Comes off the right back. But it falls back to Gineppo. He passes it backwards to Salisu. And across it goes to Bella Kotchap. Pressure still mounting for United. As Ward-Prowse finds Armstrong on the right-hand side. Takes it on the inside, then tries a ball forward. It comes back to him, though. Armstrong, can he get past McTominay? No, he can't. Good tackle from the Scotsman. Casemiro towards McTominay. Asking a lot of the United youth man. Oh, he gets brought down here. McTominay. Aribo gets tackled by Casemiro. It's a bit of a messy one here. Casemiro, with his aggression and strong tackling, means he wins the ball back for United. And in the right-back area, he can play it towards Fernandes. And play is stopped now because McTominay from that tackle has stayed down. And he's not usually one to stay down, Scott McTominay. So he's obviously been hurt there. He was given a bit of a nasty ball to deal with. And he dealt with it firstly. And as he tried to play it towards the right-hand side, he's been tackled by Lavia. And he's just landed on his left leg. Those ones where your knee can get, kind of jarred in, and that's a nasty one for McTominay. His left boot is kind of planted into the ground, and it's kind of jarred it a little bit, and that'll be a nasty one for the number 39. Like I say, came through the United youth setup, joined at the age of 6 in 2002. Yeah, and it looks like he's in pain here. We could be getting a substitute here for Fred. Yeah, it's that left leg, it's that left knee. That is a nasty one. Like I say, when your knee gets caught in the turf and it gets planted in like that, it can be a nasty one. And we're going to get a lot of added on time here, so despite we are 2.5 minutes away from the full time whistle in terms of the 90 minutes played, I think we'll get a lot of added on time, and we're going to get 2 Southampton changes. Roman Perro will replace makeshift left back Gineppo. We'll get a warm round of applause. He's played left back the last 2 games for Southampton, despite with them struggling at the left back area, and he's played really well today. Despite not being an out-and-out left back, I think he's really played well defensively and getting forward attackingly. He'll be replaced by Romain Perro. He played 18 minutes in the first game against Tottenham, and then he's missed the next 3 games in all competitions in a row due to injury, but he's back today. And Joe Aribo will be replaced by centre-back Lianco, which I find a bit of an interesting one because they need a goal, and they've now got 3 centre-backs on the pitch, so I don't know if that'll mean the 2 wing-backs they might be going to a back 5, I think, now. Southampton really pushing Perro and Walker-Peters forward at the wing-back position. McTominay is back on his feet, and it looks like he'll be able to continue. There's Andy Madley. He's got Che Adams on the ball with throwing. He blows the whistle. And Che Adams throws it to the corner flag to Diogo Dalot. And he'll let that run for a goal kick to waste a bit more time. We've got a minute less of the 90, then added on time. Still have Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. The United fans are really making the noise behind that goal where Southampton are currently attacking. I'll be interested to see how much added on time we get. David De Gea instructs his team to get forward again, push up the pitch. As there are currently 7 away losses on the bounce in the Premier League, and that run could be coming to an end here. Because it will take a lot to carry on that run. They'll need to concede 2 goals. As his goal kicks only falling as far as Romeo Lavia for Southampton. Clipped out by Walker-Peters to Roman Perro. Left-footed ball. Looking down the line, didn't get his foot around it, and that'll trickle out for a throw-in for Manchester United in their own half. See how much time we're going to add it. I think it'd be quite a chunk, you know. Only the 6 minutes. I thought there were going to be a bit more there, but the 6 minutes added on. We've had a lot of stoppages through injuries in this second half, and then obviously with substitutes as well. So it'll just be the 6 minutes for Manchester United to hold on. Looks like Fred is going to be coming on as well at some point soon. Header won by Casemiro twice. Always follows as far as Ward-Prowse, but then it'll fall to Ronaldo, who pokes it through, looking for Rashford in behind. It's a misplaced ball. It'll be recovered here by Salisu, who will clear down the Southampton left, and it will find Sekou Mara, who holds it up well on McTominay. And he wins the free kick, getting pulled by McTominay, who will stay on the pitch because it'll be Fred coming on for number 14, Christian Eriksen. So they'll have Fred, Casemiro, McTominay is their midfield 3 to get this game seen through for Manchester United. Good performance by Christian Eriksen. Unlucky not to score in that first half. He had a great chance which was blocked by Bella Kotchap. So 4 Premier League games for Eriksen at United. Yet to score or assist, but he's definitely put a shift in today. And we've got a free kick just beyond the halfway line for Southampton. Clipped into the box by Ward-Prowse. De Gea comes for it. He punches. Edge of the 18-yard box, it's Fred who gets the header. Only as far as Armstrong, who's battling with Fred, 17 versus number 17, and Fred comes out of it on the left and wins the throw in for his side. Really well done by the substitute Fred, who's just come on. Being met with a high five from both Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez. Martinez been given man of the match. I'd give mine personally to Bella Kotchap of Southampton. I know they lost, or they're losing, but he's been unbelievable. But I think Martinez has been really strong against Che Adams. I know it's only Che Adams, but you know that's the quality that Premier League possesses. You know, in terms of like lower half, he's dealt with him very, very well. He played well against Liverpool. Martinez. He now played well as well against Southampton. So it looks like he's turning a corner. Throwing for United, Tyrell Malacia to take a long one down the line. We've played 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Of the time added on, and we were given 6 minutes. It's fell to Ronaldo here. Salisu with a poor clearance. Tackled by Bella Kotchap for now, and he tries to get inside to Fred, but he does find him, Ronaldo. But then Fred loses out to Walker-Peters, who plays it down the line to Sekou Mara. Good tackle there, but it's a throw-in taken quickly by Walker-Peters. It's been headed inside by Martinez to Lianco, who gets it to Adams, sprays it to the left-hand side to Perro. He's got Lianco, the centre-back, in support. I think it's been put up front for aerial threat. It's back out to Perro. Has to be forced back to James Ward-Prowse here for Southampton. 3 minutes to go with this game. Can United find back-to-back victories? Ball played forward to Lavia. Turns forward and finds Stuart Armstrong on the left-hand side. Coming against a Scots teammate in McTominay. He's able to put the cross in towards the far post. Walker-Peters. Back he goes. Overhead kick. Blocked. Falls to Lianco. Can't strike it. Still alive. Mara, the striker who got the overhead kick away, which was blocked, he's still got it alive here. And he wins the corner. That's a corner. It's a corner. Corner given. What a goal that would have been for an overhead kick. Great ball in from Armstrong. Header won by Walker-Peters. And then one overhead kick, that is. It was blocked by Dalot. Came to Lianco, couldn't shape the shot. And in the end, they've won a corner from it. Ward-Prowse. Outswinger. In it goes. Header won, I think, by a Southampton man. It goes all the way across towards their new signing, Sekou Mara, who can't get there ahead of Dalot. Plays it down the line towards Fred. Won nicely by Lavia. And he's forced it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Bazunu, who's come towards the halfway line to retreat the ball. And he drills it forward. Chai Adams heads it inside. Headed won by Varane. Forced to Lianco, the centre-back, the substitute. Ball in to the far post. To Mara, the striker, who struck it towards the far post and wide it goes. Hands on the head for Ralph Hasenhüttl as his new striker, Seko Mara, nearly gets his first goal in a Southampton shirt. Nearly got it with the overhead kick. And then nearly got it by placing the ball towards the far post there. But David De Gea was calm and composed. There we go, the overhead kick. Off the right boot. I think it was going wide. It was going well wide. But to be fair, Che Adams was there, who could have easily prodded that home at the far post. There's been some scrappy defending from Manchester United at times, but sometimes it's needed to win away games in the Premier League. It's just over a minute to play. David De Gea with a goal kick. In the air it goes. Can't be brought down by Ronaldo. Hooked away by Ward-Prowse. Not very convincingly. He'll have to go for it again. And he does do so. He helps it on towards Lianco, the centre-half for Southampton, who's playing up front. Can't keep it alive, though, and De Gea can clear. Under a minute to go. Header won there by Cristiano Ronaldo. Falls to Bruno Fernandes on the left-hand side. He's got Fred in support, but Fernandes will instead put it in the box towards Ronaldo, who nods it down to Marcus Rashford on the edge of the 18-yard box. Took away from him by Salisu, only momentarily, as he gets it to McTominay now, Rashford. Casemiro, what a ball forward to Rashford. Out wide it goes to Fred. Left foot. Cross towards Fernandes. Header won by Salisu only as far as McTominay. Header's gone short to Fred. Stuart Armstrong wins the free kick, and it's a yellow card for United again. It's Fred this time. United have picked up all 3 yellow cards that have been given out in this game. First booking of the season for Fred. This is their last chance for Southampton to get this into the United half and cause danger. 5 seconds to go with the 6 added on. But I'm sure the referee will let this play out due to the delays from taking it. In it goes towards the box. Header won by Casemiro. Falls to Rashford, who will play it forward in behind to Ronaldo. Counter-attacks on. It's one-on-one with Walker-Peters. He's got Fernandes in support. Ronaldo will keep going. Tries to look for Fernandes. Won back by Ward-Prowse. But that is that. No time to get it back forward for Southampton. It's a first away win for Erik ten Hag in his Premier League career. It's only a 1-0 win, and it is only to Southampton, but a win is a win, and it's an important one for Manchester United. It was a good first half, 3 chances for Southampton, 1 for United, but their one was massive. They had 3 strikes at goal, all blocked or saved by Southampton defenders, and Southampton give a good account of themselves, but 10 minutes into the second half, Bruno Fernandes, from a cross from Dalot on the right, volleyed it in, into the bottom left corner, and from there, they've struggled a lot, United, since the goal. They didn't create too many chances after the goal. If we're going to be completely honest, it was mainly Southampton. But that meant we had to see the real defending qualities that United had. And they showed that they do have it. Defending brilliantly against Southampton. To not concede. To keep the clean sheet. It's the first clean sheet of the season for United. It's a first away win of the season. It's back-to-back wins. And they keep their streak up against Southampton. Where they have now won 30. Where they're now unbeaten in 13 Premier League games in a row against Southampton. But for me, I've got to go. Very quickly, I've got a game to go to. But make sure you like and subscribe if you are new. Make sure you turn on notifications as well when you know when I'm commentating next. But for this game, Southampton come up short. It's a seaside celebration for United. They win 1-0 at St Mary's through Bruno Fernandes' volley. And up next, they can make it 3 in a row. They play Leicester away. Can they do it? We'll find out. But from St Mary's, they picked up all 3 points.